All right, let's go.
The brain is the most complex organ in the human body. It controls what we say, do, and think. From the hustle and bustle of our crazy college lives to the relaxed state of a much-needed sleep, our brain is continuously sending messages and controlling everything that we do. We know we use our brain, but the question that keeps reoccurring is, how much? That question is also often referred to as the 10% myth, because for many people, they believe that we only use 10% of our brains. Now, if that's true, what is with the other 90%? Today, I'd like to share with you both sides of this argument and answer that nagging question about that 90%. Let's first take a look at the people who are for this argument. They tend to usually have more of a spiritualistic look on the way our brain works. The first person I would like to look at is William James. He is the author of the book titled The Energies of Men. He says in that book that with only 10% of our brain being used, the other is an untapped reservoir of unknown human potential. He says that it is not impossible to reach, and that there are actually some people who have tapped into that other 90%. They're also referred to as the psychic, the ability to read people's minds and maybe even move inanimate objects. It says that it doesn't end there, though. Those are just a few examples of the more common known results. That you can actually, whether it's actually impossible to measure how powerful your brain is, that there's no telling what we can possibly do if we harness all 90% of our brain. Keeping that in mind, the next person I would like to look at is Rhonda Byrne. Many people you might know of she's the author of The Secret. Many people have maybe looked at that. It goes a little bit deeper and describes the power of thought. She goes on to say that while harnessing your thought and channeling it to areas, you can achieve pretty much anything, to personal healing, to financial stability. You can pretty much do anything you want to. Her book is full of experiences of other people. There's one that I'd like to look at. There's a young man, he's about the age of 25. He was in a terrible car accident. He was put in a coma. And when he came to, the doctor said that he would never be able to walk again. But he didn't really buy that. He was going to walk again. He kept telling himself he was going to walk again. And so day in and day out, he would look down at his leg and says, "You will walk and you will move. You will walk and you will move." And 6 weeks later, he stood up and he walked. Now, this book is full of different experiences like that. She goes on to say that just focusing with positive mental ability and just focusing completely on whatever you're wanting to look at, whether it's your pocketbook or healing things the doctor says there's no way that it's going to be able to, there's no end to the ability of our minds. Now, with that being said, by a show of hands, who think that sounds really cool? I know that it is, but so let's alright, with that being said, let's look at the people who are against this theory. There's one that I would actually really like to look at. His name is Dr. Barry L. Bernstein with the Scientific American. In his article, he says there's no shortcut to success. He says that we all have to go through trial and tribulation and fight for anything that we really want. There's no thinking about it and it's just magically going to happen for us. It's something that we're going to have to fight for and that we're going to have to gain for ourselves. He also says that there are no fallow spaces in our minds. We use 110% of all of our brain. There is no empty spaces that hold a reservoir of unknown human potential. Scans that he has performed, like the PET and the MRI, owning this theory, day in and day out, your brain has sparks of registration all the way throughout it. Like there's no empty spaces that have never shown any flare on those scans. So with that being said, what side do y'all stand on? Where do y'all see yourselves? Are you more on the view of it, of being able to move inanimate objects with your mind, maybe turning the camera off back there so I don't look like an idiot when I look at this on YouTube? Or are y'all more structured based with facts and science, saying, you know, in the end we're just human. Nobody's perfect. We can't imagine something and it just magically happening. We have to take care of things ourselves. That's up to y'all to decide. Thank you.